Next is from Sean Burgess. Subject is Brock Lesnar, best worker of all time. Hi, gents. Hope you're well. I guess my opinion is in the title this week. I listened to the Rumble review and you talked about Brock entering and his selling when get eliminated for the storyline with Lashley. It got me thinking, is Brock the best worker of all time or at least top 5? If you look at his believability, his great selling and the way the crowd reacts to him literally every time he appears, there is a different feel to everything about him. The fact he is as legit can be helps with this. Has to be in the conversation, surely, and that's from Sean in the UK. I absolutely 100% agree. Brock has always valued the art of selling. He sells anger. He sells pain. He sells, he's a great emotional with facials and stuff. He's an excellent worker. It reminds you, back when Goldberg was getting over. People say, "Oh, Goldberg's not a good worker." It's like, well, bro, he's making people think it's real. That's the ultimately the best work you can do is if you get the fans to think your match is realistic. And Goldberg was actually very good at that back in the day. With his fire and stuff, everything and all that. And so it's like, yeah, I absolutely think he's in the conversation for top 5 best workers of all time. If you're especially today where everybody knows it's fake, but when Brock comes out, it's like, like I said, you're looking at the guys, and you see the way he manhandles people out there. It's like, is he really pissed? Because he's a UFC. Perfect example. How about when he jacked Braun Strowman that time and punched him right in the face?
Yeah,
Braun, shit. Right. It's like you don't know if this guy's going to go off like that.
Or think about when he hit Orton with those forearms and really ripped him up and they stopped the match. That's when Jericho got into the fight with him.
Yeah, Bill Simmons made this point a while back. He said, the arena says this is years ago, 6 or 7 years ago. He said just the crowd changes the way they are viewing the product when Brock comes out. And that was the same way Goldberg was. Goldberg would get it was called the Goldberg pop. It was a different pop. It was when a person's pop, like Ric Flair would get a pop because the guys would be popping and the chicks would be popping. The girl, whoa, it's just a very loud cheer. But when Goldberg comes out, and he would come out with Brock, it's like the male members of the audience are like, yeah, Brock's coming out. They're literally they want to fight. You know what I'm saying? It's that and that's ultimately the best pop you can get is when the fans are they're fired up because they want to see you beat the shit out of somebody, which is the pop that he gets. What do you think about that, Konnan?
Well, the guy was asking if he was one of the top 5 best workers of all time. I think he's amongst the greatest workers of all time. Not top 5, but he is top 5 for wrestling right now.
Right, for sure right now.
Yeah.
He actually came back. It's already 11 years ago. And I remember hearing you talk about it on MLW, Konnan, but it's 10, 11 years ago. He's had great matches with everybody. Cena, Bryan, Styles,
Roman.
Lashley, Roman, anybody they put him in with, it's pretty much been, successful because you never know. If he fights a smaller guy like Bryan or Styles, he makes them look good and he does good stuff with them. And if he fights a bigger guy like Lashley, it's going to be like a slugfest. He's very adaptable.
The only 2 guys that didn't give him a chance to have a good match at them were Kofi and Ricochet.
Oh yeah, well they didn't get the chance.
Yeah, well they booked it. They didn't book them to have a good match.
Yeah,
they just
right.
Squash. Right. Yeah.